This thing on? I was just reading about some code, but if you want to learn how to make your website without any code, then I'm really glad you stopped by today.
Hi, I'm Greg Narayan, and throughout the course of this next tutorial, we're going to build this exact website you see right here using WordPress. Now, because we're using WordPress, we know two things right off the bat. Number one, it's going to be built on the exact same platform as the likes of Forbes, Vogue, eBay, Ariana Grande, Time Inc., and countless other name brands. Number two, because this platform is a content management system, it's actually the world's #1 CMS right now. That means that we can build it all without any previous coding or HTML or CSS or Java or PHP knowledge whatsoever. So, content management system is basically tech speak for a really clean and simple back end. Microsoft Word is a content management system, and using a content management system versus using code is kind of like using Microsoft Word versus using a typewriter. I want to give you a quick website tour before we actually start building this together. So this is a very awesome, very professional, very classy, and very real website for a make-believe winery. I'm going to show you how to build everything you see right here and more, and that includes this beautiful image gallery right here. I'm going to show you how to find images for free and then make them the best sizes possible so that they can sit nicely in a gallery like this, and how to put some text on the front of them. I'm going to show you how to put in a nice text logo right here with a subheader, or use an actual logo that you might have designed by a graphic designer. And I'll show you how to put in a navigation menu on the upper right. I'm also going to show you how to insert a blog in your website, so you will actually have a blog and a website. And the blog is obviously useful to build content around your expertise, whatever that may be. I'm going to show you how to insert these feature image icons on the homepage that can tell people what your business is all about. And I'm going to show you how to design a footer. Alright, as a bonus, we're going to learn how to create a shop too. So this shop is going to feature all the items that we've been blogging about. In this case, it is wine products. And let's go check out our shop right now. So we're going to learn how to set up nice products like this, which your user can then add to the cart. And you can see we've set up a couple sales here for these items, and you can have as many items as you want for sale. I just have 4 right now. So your user, once they add to cart, can click view cart, and then they can go ahead and add products or subtract them and update their cart. And once they do that, they can go ahead and proceed to checkout and make a purchase. I'll also show you how to create a coupon here so you can create seasonal discounts. And overall, I think it's just really cool that you'll be able to sell your own items that you make with your own hard work right from your new WordPress website. This is still something even today that a lot of websites don't have, so it's a really advanced feature, and again, we're going to learn how to set it up along with everything else without any coding whatsoever. Alright, the final part of our tour is just showing you that this whole website is mobile responsive. So if I pull in the browser window like this, the whole website will actually shrink. All the images and the text will shrink automatically so that we have a good looking site on a mobile device. Alright, it'll also look good on tablet, iPad, Android, iPhone, BlackBerry, whatever you got. Alright, really hope you enjoyed that quick website tour. Now, why don't we take a look at the steps that we'll need to take to get this exact website online for our new audience to look at. Alright. So I've jotted down bullet points for us right here of everything we'll need to do. But before we start going through them, we really need to just address the elephant per se in the room, which is, should we use WordPress.com or WordPress.org? What the heck? So let me give you like a 30-second spiel on what you need to know regarding the difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org. Now, instead of just spewing out a bunch of facts and tech speak about the two platforms that you could definitely just find online, I thought it'd be more useful to you and your future blogging and website experience to talk about my own experience. So, I started my first blog on WordPress.com in 2010, and it was a blog about my thoughts on the economy. I was a trained economist. And I was really excited just to have a blog site up and running. I was really excited for a few days until I really began to feel trapped. My blog on WordPress.com wasn't allowed to post ads. It couldn't really become the design that I wanted because I wasn't allowed to move items around like I wanted. And when I would tell people to go visit my website, I always had to tell them it was my website.wordpress.com, and I could really see the confusion in their faces, and I knew that no one was really remembering what the heck I was talking about. I ended up leaving WordPress.com after a couple weeks, and while it was fun, it's kind of a process that I don't recommend anyone serious about having a website or a blog ever go through. Now, I really like WordPress.org because it's easy for me to make it look as simple or as crazy as I want. I can monetize it with Google ads or custom ads or Amazon ads or really anything else that I feel will be profitable. And most importantly, I own the whole thing 100%. So we're going to use WordPress.org in this tutorial because if you're taking the time to watch this, then I want to give you 100%. I want to give you the full WordPress experience. And if you're scared about what we're about to do, then I've got 2 words for you. Don't be. I'm going to show you how to get your own unique domain name to brand yourself on the web, just like Ariana Grande does. Then I'm going to show you how to get web hosting and how to set up a whole WordPress site, even if you're a total beginner that's never done anything on the web. So we're basically going to go from zero to awesome website. And if you'd still rather go with the .com version, I really hope this tutorial and the designing we do helps you. So, time for an important question, which is, what's all this going to cost? Alright, well, let's take a look. So we're going with the complete version, WordPress.org. And we need, first and foremost, a domain name. Now, that can be your own .com or .net or .org. I'll show you how to set everything up if you've already registered it. That's not a problem. We're going to get a new one, though, and we're going to spend $12.95 on it. That's a very standard price. And this is an annual price, so we pay that once per year, and we're going to buy it up front so we own our domain name for a long time. Alright, so then we need hosting, and hosting is basically just like a little plot of land on the web, and we're going to buy it so we own it, and then we can own our WordPress website as well. Alright, so hosting is something I consider really important. There are thousands of average hosts on the web, and thousands of average WordPress hosts. And I've had a lot of friends stress out about their sites going down. It's just not pretty. I really like HostGator because they're cheap, they work really well, and I can put as many sites as I want onto my hosting. So we're going to go with HostGator. I think one of the most important things is that they offer 24/7, 365 support from real people. So some hosts will look really pretty up front, but then they won't help you when something goes wrong, and that's crazy. Alright, and I was actually able to work out a deal with HostGator to get us 1 cent for the first month. So you're only going to pay 1 cent today, and I think this is an ideal deal for beginners who just want to try out web hosting and try out WordPress.org. So we're going to pay just 1 cent for the hosting. After that, the cost is roughly about $10 a month. $12.95 for the domain, $10 a month for the hosting. Those are both very standard costs of entry for existing and having a full website online. Alright, so the total cost that we're going to spend today, if you go with this tutorial, is $12.96. $12.96. And thankfully we can get both our domain name and our hosting at HostGator. Alright, once we get those two set up, the WordPress is going to be free. It's all free, open source. So WordPress.org is free. I'm not sure what you might have heard about it, but it is a free open source software, and it is just the bomb. Alright, all the content we put on is also going to be free. I'm going to show you how to get free images and free fonts and free, just create your own free presence online. And that's really the way I believe it should be. Then next up, we're going to learn how to leverage Google. If we have some more time at the end, we're going to leverage the search engines by indexing our website and ranking it. So we're going to tell Google, hey, we got a new site. Let's go ahead and put it in the search engines and start ranking it for the keywords we want. And then we can start bringing in customers and building your audience. So leveraging Google will also be free. Alright, that said, let's do it. So before we begin, I should say two things. Because we're going to be making an order online and buying something together, make sure you've done your homework and are ready. Alright, so if you're on a limited budget or a limited time frame, then I'd recommend just grabbing a WordPress.com blog. It's better than nothing at all, and the designing we do here is still going to be a big help. Alright, so don't push your budget, don't push your time frame. Work is important, and I've earned the position now where I can blog for a living and help people for a living. It wasn't always like that. WordPress.org has allowed me to do that, but it was tough managing the finances for a while, and you should focus on what is important in life and what's paying the bills. That said, I do have some tutorials that'll help you make money blogging and with a WordPress.org site, so those could be useful. Alright, number 2, the coupons I show you, which will help you save a greater amount on hosting, are my coupons. So if you use them, I'll earn a small commission at no cost to you from HostGator. And that really helps me keep making these videos and keeping them free on YouTube. So thanks a ton. If we ever meet up, perchance, drinks are on me. And you should know that I could use or recommend any number of web hosts, but I know that if it's WordPress.org you're after, then HostGator is your ticket to a great website, as we'll see in a moment. Alright, so if you're ready to begin, I know I am, and let's go and build us a WordPress website. The first step to building us a WordPress website is going to be to visit HostGator.com. And once we're here, we'll see they have a nice fall, nice warm autumn theme going here. They also have a cool kind of pond theme. I don't really know what's up with that, but maybe it's a swamp. It's definitely where the alligator lives. But once we're here, we can click on web hosting or view web hosting plans, because they will take you to the same place. Alright, once we click that, then it's time to choose our hosting package. And I want you to focus on these two plans over here. The business plan is just simply too robust for a beginner tutorial. Alright, so the hatchling plan and the baby plan, what's the difference? The hatchling plan offers a single domain. It is the plan I got when I first signed up. Now I run a baby plan because, like I said, I manage anywhere between 30 and 50 websites using HostGator at any given time. So we are actually going to grab a baby plan here because I think it's a good deal. And if you want to manage your mom's website or your company's website or your friend's site or create a whole empire, then this is a darn good bet. Alright, I'm going to select 1 month. We're going to try out the hosting and the WordPress for 1 month. And then we can click Order Now. Once we do that, we will be in the HostGator Order Wizard. And this is where it's time to put in our domain name. So I hope you did a little research already. If you didn't, don't worry about it. I'll tell you right now that you want a simple domain name people can remember. You want ideally to have 1 or 2 of your keywords in it. So, for instance, I started a blog called Dear Blogger because it was a blogging website for bloggers. So, it's got 1 keyword in it like that. And if you go to my site, you'll get this red, section here, which is not available. And if you go to my site here, then you will see that the Blogging Answers community is very much alive and kicking. Alright, so that's my site. So we can pick a domain name here that is available, and if you register a domain name already with GoDaddy, then just click right here. Alright, GoDaddy or Namecheap or somewhere else. We're going to get a new domain name, and I thought it would be appropriate to get the domain name Beginner WordPress. tutorial. Alright, as you can see, we are going to be buying a new domain name, so you're really getting the full Monty here. You are getting the candid, full experience of setting up a website. Alright, I want the .com because .com is just the universal go-to suffix for your domain name. Alright, so once you got the perfect domain name in there, make sure it's spelled right. Looks good to me. Alright. Drop me a little note in the comments if you have a question about your domain name. And then we are going to go down and make sure you're seated here, folks, because this is going to go quickly. It's going to fly right by. And we're going to make sure we have a baby plan, not the business or the hatchling, but the baby for 1 month. And now we just have to create a HostGator account. So I was like going with a first initial last name and then a security, which is, just 4 numbers of any choosing. So make sure it's easy enough for you to remember, although I don't think you'll ever have to type this in again. Next up is time to put in our billing information right here, just like you would any other payment on Amazon or eBay or Fiverr or J.Crew, Toys R Us, wherever you shop. And then once you do that, I always uncheck all the options. If you really want to splurge, then I'd recommend getting the domain protection, but the rest of them are unnecessary. At the bottom, we have our totals. Alright, and HostGator has kindly put in Snappy. That's the name of the alligator, and it's also a coupon, which gets us 20% off. But, as I said before, I'm going to give you a coupon that lets you get this all for 1 cent for your first month. A great deal for beginners. And that coupon is Chardonnay. So type that in and then just click validate. And we can see our hosting has plummeted to 1 penny, which is right where we want it. You can't get it for free, but 1 penny hosting is the best deal out of any web host on the web in the whole world. And that's just one reason I choose HostGator. Alright, so Chardonnay is in. We have the hosting for 1 penny. Our total is $12.96, just like we saw before. Alright, in the setup instructions. Alright, and before I click create account here, I want you to note that there's a 45-day money-back guarantee. If you're not happy with anything, just contact the live support at HostGator and they'll refund you up to 45 days from this moment. This other stuff is free, the chat is free, the account activation is free. And one more caveat, if you were feeling ballsy about your hosting and wanted to register it for 1 year, there's a better coupon I know of that you can use, and it's take 30 off. Alright, so that is a percentage coupon, and it will take 30% off whatever you register. So you can imagine that if you're getting hosting for a year as opposed to 1 month, if you're paying for 1 year upfront, then something like 30% off is going to be more valuable than good old Chardonnay, which gives us a discount of $9.94, which is the exact amount of that discount. So just a heads up, both coupons are mine, and I will earn a small commission from HostGator at no cost to you if you use them and are able to save a greater amount than you would before. So I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot if you do that. And again, I could recommend any host to you, but HostGator is obviously what I recommend. Alright, once that's all said and done and you've reviewed your information, I want you to double check that your email is entered correctly above. The email is what you'll need for the next step, because HostGator is going to email us some important setup instructions so that we can set up WordPress and start making a website. So once you double check that, go ahead and click create account. And then we'll uncheck this box. And I'm just going to pay now via PayPal. If you paid via credit card, then this will instead be a confirmation message that your payment went through, and then it's time to check your email. So I'm going to pay with PayPal, and then I'm going to check my email, and we will proceed with the tutorial. Alright, so see you in a second. Alright, so we just bought our domain name and hosting from HostGator, and now it's time to check our email for important account information. So I'm going to hop over to my Gmail, and if you use another email like Outlook, it won't matter, same thing. And to find the email, it'll either be at the top, but if it's not at the top, then just look for your account info. And that's what it's called. And we see some Amazon junk up here, and then this is the email we want. So it's from no reply, and it's hostgator.com, your account info. This is exactly what we need to go ahead and install WordPress. Okay, so if we actually go to our website right now, the domain name that we just registered with HostGator, and check it out, what we have is a parked domain. It's parked at HostGator hosting. So we have our new and shiny hosting account, but we don't have anything on it. So it's just sitting here, and we own the domain name at this point, but let's put WordPress on it. Let's get going with the same CMS that all the big dogs, like Snoop Dogg and Forbes and Jay-Z and all those people are using. So let's go see what it's all about. Alright, so we're going to install WordPress under our domain name right now. We can close that, and we can open up this email. This is a really important email, so if you're someone that deletes everything, make sure not to delete this one, or if you want to, then save this in a Word file or a post-it sticky or something like that where you'll always have it. Okay, so the next step is going to be to copy this password. Alright, get the whole thing, and we want to remember our username that we created when we set up the account. So the password and the username. And also important are these two things called name servers. We won't need them right now, but we would need these name servers if we registered a domain name at GoDaddy or somewhere other than HostGator. So if that's the case, then that specific registrar is going to need this information, and you're going to need to put that into your domain manager. So drop me a comment if you need any help with that. And now we can just click this link called Your Control Panel. So click that, and then pop in that username, and I'm just going to hit Control V and then log in. We are logging into the HostGator control panel. Alright, this is what everyone's looking at. This is what everyone who's been using WordPress, or I guess the vast majority of them, have been looking at. And I'm actually going to walk you around here for a little bit in a second, but let's get WordPress set up first. Alright, so we're not going to use the startup guide here because we have our own guide right here. And I'm going to scroll down, and then we can click on Quick Install right here. This is the tool that we'll use to install WordPress. So if we were using another host, or if we were doing this back in the day, then we would have to write all kinds of fancy code and PHP and create a database. But HostGator has Quick Install, and we can use this to get a one-click WordPress install. Okay, so just click on that icon. And just like magic, we'll have WordPress running in a moment. Once we're in Quick Install, we can click WordPress over here. Make sure to click the word itself. Actually, I guess that whole thing is a link. And then once you're here, just read this little description because it's a really nice copy. And then click Continue. Alright, so go ahead and do exactly what I do right here to make sure that your copy of WordPress gets installed perfectly onto your new domain name. Alright? So obviously your domain name will look different, but just select, it's probably only going to be one of them right there. So just select it and leave this part blank, alright? because we want to install WordPress onto the root domain and not onto something like /blog or /blah. Okay, and then pop in an email that works, preferably the email we just checked, and then a blog title. So we can change that later, not a big deal. Username, this will be your new WordPress user, so put a little thought into it and go with whatever it is that you like using. I like first initial last name, but you might go with something like admin, or first name, or maybe wahoo or hoorah if you're really excited about this. But I wouldn't do that. I would just stick to what you normally use and then pop in the last two. Once your setup is looking exactly like this with your information, of course, then you can click install now. All right, and what that's going to do is it's going to pull WordPress from wordpress.org, which is our awesome software we're using. It's going to pull WordPress from the site, so you don't have to download it onto your computer or anything like that. It's just going to pull it in right straight to our hosting. Okay, so it's pretty cool technology that does that, and Quick Install does that all for us without writing any HTML or CSS or any of that, like we promised right at the start. Okay, so let's pull that in and let's click install now. And we'll wait till we get to 100%. All right, things worked without any problems, and we should be good to go. So the next thing you want to do, if you're like me and you're basically like a kid eager to open a present, then you're just going to click right here, and you're going to see that things aren't quite working just yet, okay? And that's because WordPress has to go through what's called propagating. So the WordPress files have to settle into place on your new domain name. And while that's happening, you might be able to log in. You might not be. All right, great. It looks like it actually is working for us right away. So that's awesome. Good job, HostGator, and good job to you and I as well. All right, so if you need a break, now is a good time to take one. If you need to go outside or go run around in a circle or go grab a snack, go for it. I want to do that because some people's websites won't be up and running like ours is quite yet. Might take a few more minutes. And I want to keep everyone on the same page. So go ahead and do that. Go check out Snoop Dogg's website, and then we'll build a WordPress website together. If you'd like to stick around instead of the break, I'm going to show you a couple things at HostGator that can really help to make this whole thing not just a blog or a website, but a whole business. All right, so what we're going to do actually is we're going to copy this whole little section right here. Just copy it, and then let's put it into a sticky note, okay? So if we put that into a sticky, then we will make sure we have this information in case we close this page. All right, important page. You want to leave it open, but make sure you copy that information. And then we're actually going to hop over to my control panel at HostGator. I've been with them for several years. I'm going to just hop in, add my login link right here. All right, so you get to see sort of the big daddy of accounts. And the first thing I want to show you is this mail section. All right, so, and you can move it. It's pretty cool. So if you click on email accounts in your control panel, this is where I actually make new emails for my businesses. So we can see a bunch of them. And you could imagine that, if you're running a business like thefirstTryblog.com, it could be fun to have an email like admin or maybe support or just your first name, but it's pretty fun to create a unique email and not have something like Gmail or Yahoo in here. So to do that, you just create the email and then a password, and then you can just choose an unlimited account and create a new email just like that. And then from here, it's really easy to forward emails to your existing email like a Gmail, or you can go into a place like Gmail and you can do POP and pull in emails from your new email. So if you have any questions on that, just let me know in the comments. Alright, that would be how to create a new email. Also, in your HostGator control panel, you can make add-on domains and subdomains. Alright, so subdomains are what we're going to look at, and these are things that are like a bunch of words and then your domain name .com. So you could create a new subdomain if you wanted, and we will just use the domain name we just did. So you could create something like, tutorial or membership, and you could create that, and then you can use this domain name on your website. All right, and you can install WordPress on this one just like you installed it onto the previous one. So that's really fun. It's really cool that HostGator gives us unlimited subdomain names. All right, go back to the home icon. And last but not least, I will show you the file manager. Okay, file manager is really useful if you're a web developer. Okay, so these are all the websites I've built, and I go into my file manager to see exactly what's in here. It's kind of a more hands-on look. You can see some like images, and like this is where the WordPress stuff is, but you're going to want to know about file manager to do FTP, which is file transfer protocol. And you're going to want to learn this if you're a web developer or if you have aspirations to become a web developer. So you now have that potential, and I just wanted to let you know about that feature. Alright, enough of that extra goodness, those extra goodies, and why don't we go ahead with this window still open and log into WordPress. Alright, so once again, just copy that password. This is another crazy password which we're going to change in a second, so don't worry about that. And then click your login link, and then bookmark your login link. Alright, just bookmark it. Okay, bookmark it like that. Alright, so let's log in and check out our site for the very first time. Alright, welcome to WordPress. So we are obviously going to explore, and I'm going to show you 3 or 4 things you can do, sort of housekeeping things to get your blog leg up from the start against other blogs, because there are a lot of WordPress bloggers starting up every day. And this is the look of it right now. It's the theme of the moment, and it's pretty cool, but pretty standard also, so we're going to make it a lot more impressive. If you remember, we were going to build this look that we saw right at the start of our tutorial, right? So this full look, and just a reminder, if we're building anything or adding any feature and you don't understand, I will be available in the comments. I know some tutorial gurus kind of ditch the comments once they go live with the video, but I'll be there for you, and I really enjoy that part of the tutorial. Alright, so that's what we're going to build, and let's go through some beginning exploration. Alright, first off, I just want to change our password. So we're in the dashboard here, and we can hop over to the users section and go ahead and change the password. We only have one user, and that's me. I'm going to give me a new password. Alright, so just gonna pop in something else. Make sure to get them matching, and you can go for stronger if you like. Alright, I'm going to update, and then once we update, we can go ahead and close the quick install window, so we don't need that one anymore, and we can close all the windows. Alright, so I'm going to pick a theme too. Coffee looks good. And now I want to go over to settings and general. Okay. And once you click that, I want to give us a www. So if we view the site right now, it's just our domain name.com, but I like having that www in there just for the heck of it. So just type that in here. Make sure, 100% sure, to type it also in right here so your WordPress address and your site address are exactly the same. I'm also going to change the title. I'm going to call it, and I'm going to change this little tagline just to be clever. Alright, and save changes. And that was a significant change, so it's going to ask us to log in again. Alright, now I want to clean up the site. I want to get rid of some stuff that's just going to slow us down because WordPress comes loaded up with lots of goodies, and a lot of them we don't need. So the first thing that's going to go is the marketplace, and we can go to plugins for that. In general, less stuff in WordPress, less clutter, makes the whole site faster, which is good for you when you're editing it and for your users when they're reading your blog. So I want to get rid of Mojo, and then I want to delete Mojo. Then I want to also delete Jetpack. That's useful if you want to connect a WordPress.com blog with this one, but I don't want any of those features. Delete. And a couple other cool ones. Hello Dolly, I'm going to activate. That just puts a nice little quote from one of the WordPress founders' favorite, I think it's musicians up here. Keep that one. It's kind of a cool feature. And activate Akismet, which is the spam protector. So very important to activate Akismet. Okay. Next up on our housekeeping list, I want to go to settings and permalinks. And this is important for SEO, and I want to use post name instead of date and name. Alright? So, and that just puts the keywords of a post, which you'll see in a moment in there, instead of the date, which we don't need. That will outdate every post we publish. And Google likes current and Google likes simple. So 2 things to remember. You want your links to be simple. Simple and informative to Google. So let's save those changes. Alright, so geez, Greg, you're saying enough boring stuff. Let's start building. Alright, so let's do it. I'm going to open the site in another window and keep it here the whole time so that we can keep refreshing this tab in Chrome and see the changes that we're making. And then I'm going to hop back over here. Alright, and I want to go to Appearance, Themes. The theme is the entire look. It's synonymous with template, but your theme is basically your swagger. And you want it to fit you, and you just want it to rock. You want something that's going to look clean and professional and inspire trust. So for that, I am going to download a free theme and then put it on the site. Alright, so we have some good options here. We can also you can also get a theme that is already in the search feature. So if you just go to add new, you'll see new options. A lot of really cool looks, cool designs, and you can just preview them or install them inline. It's called inline when you do it right here within WordPress. So play around and have fun. If you need a recommendation, let me know. I really like one called Simple, in fact. If you could tell, a big theme here is simple. So I like Simple Catch. It's this one, really beautiful. Comes with an image slider and has some options for being mobile responsive. This is also a great one, responsive. So those two are among the most downloaded themes actually at the moment by WordPress users. Just a little tip, responsive and Simple Catch. But we're going to get a theme called Virtue, and we can just download it right from the internet. So much of WordPress is free and open source, and that means we can just use things that other people have already worked on, which is great. That's how it's meant to be, and it's not stealing, it's actually just collaborative. And hopefully one day you'll be building your own WordPress stuff and letting other people use it as well. So this is the theme we're going to use. To get it, I am just going to download it right here. And I'm going to download the free version. So to do that, I'll just click there. And it brings us to Cadence Themes' page. And once I'm in here, I'm just going to click download, this blue button right here. Alright, we can see our theme just downloaded right in the corner of the browser. Right there. Came in a zip file. Alright, so let's get our new look uploaded and give us a new dose of swagger. So pop back over to the themes area and then just click upload theme. And we're going to choose the file. Okay. And then we're just going to, like a big alligator, we're just going to choose the whole Virtue zip file. And I'm actually going to get this one just because it is the original file I downloaded. It doesn't have that little one in there. So get the most simple version. And then we're going to open it and then install now. Alright, so that might take a little while depending on, a lot of things. Internet connection and current weather conditions. And so let's check out the blog. Alright. So we refresh and we can see right away we have a new look. And it's looking a lot snazzier. And that's really awesome, I think at least. We have this temporary slider and a title that looks better and a search bar. And we're going to add a lot more right now. So WordPress always comes with this default post called Hello World, and I don't want it. So let's go to posts, and then we can publish our first post, and we can delete that post. So I'm just going to trash this one. Alright, and then it'll just show up in our trash bucket right here. And then I'm going to go to add new. So you can always add a new post through that button or over here, and it'll do the same thing. And this is the famous WordPress new post editor. So it's what all the kids are using. And alright, I'm going to make a title. So the first post we wanted to write was called Staff Pick Sincere Rosé. And we need some text. Alright, so you obviously are going to want to write your own brilliant text. But I'm just going to grab some free dummy text. And I'm actually going to grab some dummy wine text. Alright, so that would be potentially Googled the wrong thing. Wine Ipsum. Cool. So I'm going to get some wine text. This is just a bunch of snobby, snobby wine text. I'm going to get 2 paragraphs and generate it. And that looks good. Copy that. And once that's copied, we can paste that in. So in WordPress, you always get a visual editor and a text editor. Alright, and you can see they look a bit different. The visual editor is like a Microsoft Word editor. You get all these features to bold or italicize, just like Word, and a kitchen sink right here, which is even more options. So you can underline or make it a different color and lots of stuff. And then when you do that, you'll see changes in the text editor, but they will actually just be code. So I use text editor now, because I'm so awesome at WordPress, but you can use whichever one is more comfortable. Alright, so this one is a lot like Microsoft Word. And I'm just going to leave the text like that and then make a post category. And I'm going to write in rosé and wine tips. So you'll also see these things called tags down here, which is kind of weird. And tags, according to WordPress, are just to describe your post in more detail. So, if we had like a dinner blog and our categories were things like dessert and appetizers and baking and whatever. I don't even know. I'm not a good cook. But then the tags will be things that are more specific, like brownies and croutons and, vegetables and things that were just more in detail. So I'm not going to go with any tags for now. And then I'm going to publish the post. All right. So we can see the title and the permalink looks good, and we're going to publish. All right, now let's check out the website. And I'll call it both a website and a blog as we go through. So there we go. There's our first post. All right, cool. I want an image by the post, though. I want a little image. And that image that represents the post in WordPress is called a featured image. Okay? So I'm going to set it right here. And I'm going to upload a file from my computer by clicking Select Files. All right. And then I'm going to go to the desktop. And I have a little folder of images right here. And I think I'm just going to go with this one. Just open it. And once you click Open, the image will quickly upload into WordPress. So you can use it wherever you want on WordPress now. And then I'm just going to set featured image, right? And then update. So we want to refresh now and see if anything changed, all right? And it looks like nothing changed, so that's interesting. Now we could also put the image in right here in the top of the post. I can add media and then just pop it in just like that, which is awesome. And you're going to want to do that at certain times in your posts. All right, and you'll see it looks a lot different in text because it's a image code. All right, but I don't want my image right there. I actually want it in a different place. So I want the design to basically just look different on the homepage, and to choose a different layout with 4 blog posts there instead of 1. I'm gonna go to Appearance and Theme Options. All right. So no matter what theme you get, theme options is going to be really essential because it's what you get with the CMS. This is sort of where you get to flex your skills within WordPress and just do a lot of designing, all with the comfort of no code or any sort of complex system. It's usually pretty much a bunch of checkboxes and input boxes. So this particular theme gives us a really robust theme options, and that's the main reason I like it. Alright, so I want to go to the home layout, and let's see here. I want to actually choose what's enabled and what's disabled. So I'm going to enable the blog posts, alright? And I'm going to enable the icon menu, which we'll see in a second. And I'm going to get rid of the page content. And we'll see how that looks. You can obviously play around to your heart's content. So now when I refresh, we should hopefully see some bigger changes. Alright, so that's great. The layout looks different right away from that change in theme options. And actually, I don't want page content. So put it in the disable column, save changes. And then let's refresh and see what we got. Great. All right. So things are looking different and they're looking better, right? But let's give the home blog section, our little blog area, a title, right? So I'm gonna call it. Let's see here. I'm gonna call it latest blog posts. It's pretty cool. Alright, I'm going to save that. And then because we want to add more posts and we want to add an image slider, we're gonna get rid of this cool little sample slider, even though it's nice to learn all about the Virtue theme. So we are going to go to media, and I'm actually going to upload all of our stuff in one fell swoop. Alright, so I'm all about saving time. I'm going to add new. And I'm just going to upload the entire folder except for the image we just did. And you'll see WordPress instantly pulls in all those images. Well, I guess instantly is relative. Okay, but while WordPress is doing that, we can go back to our theme options where a lot of the fun takes place. And then over here, I'm going to go to slider settings. Alright, so let's give ourselves a beautiful image slider. And to do that, we have to use some selections. So we have 5 options for a slider. The 5th option is a video, which we're not going to use now, but we could insert a video instead. Alright, little foreshadowing. And I'm going to go with the flex slider. So we'll see what that looks like. And then to put images in the slider, we can just click right here and then click upload. And then we have some images right away. Alright, so I'm going to grab this one called Book a Tour Today. And I'm just going to call it over here, Book a Tour Today. And then select it. And it pops right in right there. And then I'm going to write that one more time. And you'll notice the slide can also link to something. So if you wanted the slide to link to a post or a page, you could put that in right here. Alright, and now I'm going to add slide again and upload. And then go to free samples all year. Alright, so you probably get the picture. Select. And then it looks like we didn't get our last slide. Alright, so we have to upload that one again. I'm just going to go to New Media and select Files and get slider 3. Alright, slider 3 is in. And now that it's in there, we can probably save changes here. And then we can pull it into the slider. Okay. So that's kind of cool how if you update one page in WordPress and you're logged in on both pages, then the other page will update as well. Alright, and now I'm going to add that third one. Same process. Select it and call it Rolling Hills of Happiness. I think I forgot to name it on the slide. Alright, but not a big deal right now. And then we'll save changes. So I want to give you some tips about designing amazing image sliders really quick. Alright, so the first one is that to get the images, I actually got them from Google Images. Okay, and if you want to get images here, you can just do a search in the Images tab, and maybe you want to search for something like baking. Alright, baking. Maybe you run a cooking blog, and maybe you want this picture of cupcakes. Alright, but before you get it, click on Search Tools and Usage Rights and make sure it's labeled for reuse. Alright, so it looks like cupcakes is a safe one to use. So those cupcakes are safe, but you want to make sure you're in this one. And furthermore, it's good to get big images, large images. Alright, so you can sort them like that, and you can see cupcakes would be a good bet. And it's also from Wikimedia. So Wikipedia, all those ones from the Wikipedia Commons are usually good images to use. Alright, speaking of big images, when you put an image in your slider, alright, you're going to want to make it as big as the slider allows. So we have these two little scrollers, and we can see that the slider maxes, the height and width, are 600 and 1170, and that's exactly how big I made them in the Media tab. Alright, so if we click on one of these images, it's exactly going to be that big. And I made that addition, I made that little edit to the image if it ever opens. So I made that in Photoshop, alright? And I also put the text over the image, this overlay text, put it on there in Photoshop, okay? So you can also do that in Pixlr.com. This is the site. If you don't have Photoshop, which a lot of people don't because it's honestly kind of maddening to figure out, and then you can just go to the Pixlr editor, just like that, and you get a nice little convenient place where you can open images or create new ones, and it's pretty simple. Let me know if you have any questions and I'll help you use it. Alright, super cool. So now that our images are the biggest height, I want to save these changes. Just want to save them. Alright. And then let's sort of close some windows. And let's see how we're looking. Alright, voila. So our image slider is good to go. It will scroll through automatically, or we can click through it right here. Alright. So let's get this homepage looking better, and let's add some more blog posts, alright? So, I want to go to new post, and I want that wine ipsum from the previous post, which I can view in all posts. So with the posts, you actually get this sort of double whammy. You can edit all your posts in here, or you can edit them in the individual editor, and you can edit them right here by using the quick edit. So it's not something I like doing too much. I'd rather just open them up and you get more control that way, but just a heads up. Alright, add new. And I want to write a post about the best deals in town, alright? So maybe you have a post, or a blog about a small business, or your own small business, and this is a good post to have. Tell people why you guys are special. Alright, and a new category for that one. So this category is just going to be deals, right? And then just add it. And then it needs a featured image. Okay, so I'm going to assign it this image of the 5 bottles, right? That's pretty cool. And there's a lot more options for the post, like you can put a video in, or you can actually put an image gallery in, I believe. So I would recommend playing around. This theme is pretty awesome. But we're just going to publish. And then add a new post. Alright, so to save some time, I'm going to go ahead and add in 2 more posts, and then I will come right back at you. Alright, so we have ourselves 4 posts on the home page. It's nice and symmetrical, and they are laid out in the order we published. So this one is the most recent, how to drink wine, and then drinking in moderation, then this one, and then this one, right? So WordPress will generally have an automatic ordering based on post date, and if you want to change that order ever, you can just change the date it was published. So you can retroactively publish it, or you can put it in the future, anything you really want, right? Now a cool feature is to have a whole page for your blog. So how do we do that? Alright, well, I'll show you. I'm going to add a page, and this is the first page we're going to be adding in WordPress. Alright, and I'm just going to call it One Missing Barrel. That's the name of our blog. And I'm not going to put any content in. I'm actually going to set the template over here and do blog. So our theme comes with a lot of good templates, and I want blog. And then I'm going to publish. Alright, now so if we view this page, because it's the blog template, it will actually have all of our posts listed on it. Alright? And now is a good time to make our sidebar go away in the name of simple. Alright? So I'm going to go to Appearance and Widgets. Appearance Widgets to edit the sidebar. And this is pretty standard WordPress stuff. All blogs will come with this stuff. And for that very reason, we don't want this stuff, because we want to stand out. So I'm going to delete all this nonsense in the sidebar. And then once we do that, we can just refresh. So our blog page is looking much cleaner. Alright, with the sidebar cleaned up, I think it's about time we make a menu. So to make a menu, this is one of those things that took me forever to figure out in WordPress, and it's just kind of helps if someone tells you how to do it, because you would think that making pages would just put them up here, but it really doesn't all the time. So we need to actually add a menu. Alright, so I'm going to call this one just menu. And we have to create the menu. Okay, and then once it's created, we have to choose the location. So I want the, this is where it gets confusing. I believe I want the primary navigation, and I want both pages. So we'll check both pages, and then we'll click add to menu. And I don't know why I added the sample page, because that is nonsense. But we also want a home page. Alright, we want someone to click and be able to go back home. So to do that, we can use a custom link and just type in our whole address. And then call it home. And then add to menu. Alright, and to rearrange it, you just drag it like that, and then you can save the menu. And I'm going to take a look at what we just made. So let's refresh. And that's pretty cool. There's our menu over here. So we have a menu inserted. Alright, hooray. So I'm going to hop back over to theme options and make things look a little nicer on the home page. And then we're going to have some fun and insert our shop. Okay? So back in the theme options section, we can go to main settings. And I want to scroll down. And I want to give us a tagline. There we go. And I'm going to save changes. Alright, then I'm also going to give us a different logo layout, so the logo has a little more room. Just choose this one. And in the miscellaneous settings, I want to not where we want to be. I want to go to menu settings, and I want to make our primary menu a little bit bigger. So I want to make it 14. Cool. So obviously a ton to play around with. Alright, that was a good refresh. So now it's time to add these cute little home icons to the home page. So let's go to home layout, and we're going to go to the home icon menu and make 4 of them. We can make more actually, 5 or 6, but I just want 4. These are good for a little bit of branding. You know, if you're on Facebook, they use these pretty little icons a lot, or Google does it all the time for their new features. So people just generally like icons. I don't know why, but they do. So I'm going to add an icon. And instead of uploading it, I'm just going to select one of the cool icons our theme comes with. And I'm going to go with this one and call it Power Off, because I want people to be able to power off at our winery. Alright, and then I'll add another one. And this one will be, let's find it. I want the little, wow, there are a lot of icons to choose from. Lots of cool things like an airplane and a calendar. And I really should have found this beforehand, because now I'm going crazy. And I don't even know how to search for it, but alright, anyways, we're going to just grab a light bulb. And I'm just going to call it, bright ideas. Alright. And then another one. Alright. Whoa, what happened? Okay. Select an icon. And I'm just going to call this one Love What You Do. And then finally, whoop, we don't want to upload that icon, we want to select it. And we're going to call this one, we're going to call this last one Rockout. Alright, and that should do it. So I'm going to save changes. And just by doing that, we can see that on our home page when we refresh it. Alright, just refresh button. We are going to have 4 nice icons down here. And you can also create hyperlinks within those, just like the slider, to different pages on the blog. We just don't have that many pages right now. So pretty cool. Alright. Little fun button up here is the delete cache button. That is a refresh button as well, but it also deletes your cache. So any images that are sort of stuck in the internet browser, memory, images that might prevent updates from showing on your blog, deleting the cache sort of just clears all that out. So it's a good idea to hit that every now and then. Alright, next up we're going to make a footer. Alright, who wants to make a footer? So we're going to hop over to our dashboard and then widgets, and that's where we create our footer. Alright, very standard in WordPress. You get these little footer columns. Okay, and I want to put some text in. Alright, so the text widget is really good for adding something like AdSense or maybe any other advertisement or maybe a Facebook box, because text is just arbitrary text or HTML. That means you can put any code in here, any raw code, and it will just, show up as generated code. So it won't show the code, it'll show what it's supposed to show, if that makes sense. It might not. But I have some text I'm going to paste in, and then I'm actually going to write a little code. Yeah, so that's what this is going to say. And that's a little CSS code right there. So you don't have to write that if you don't want, but that is how to code a header, right? So now you know a little bit of CSS. I'll just save it. Alright, so in the second column, I want to add the Virtue Contact vCard. So I'll just choose column 2 and then add widget. All really simple. And I'm just going to call it Contact Us. And then you can fill in any information you want about your own business or whatever the website is about. But I'll give it a mobile. Boy, that would be a fun number. Wonder how much you have to pay for that one. And my email. So this is my real email, and if you have any questions getting set up, just shoot me a note and we'll save that. Alright, so let's check it out. Our footer should have a couple things in it if we did it right. Alright, there we go. So we have 2 cool things in our footer, and we want 2 more. So I'm going to put in our recent posts, so that gives people another way of getting to our blog and reading our awesome content. I'm just going to use this one and put it in footer 3, and that should do it, just like that. I'm just going to show 4 and call it read our blog and save. And then I'm also going to put in alright, that's it for now, because the next footer item is actually part of our shop, which we're going to install in just a moment. Alright, so our blog posts are showing up there. Again, no coding, just a widget from WordPress that does all the work for us. Alright, so we're going to set up our shop in just a second, and a shop on a website is something that really terrified me at first. It is something that developers will charge you thousands of dollars for to make, and you would think it involves a lot of coding. Fortunately, I found a WordPress plugin that will do the shop for us. So we're just going to upload that plugin and then set up a shop in the CMS, and it's going to be awesome. I was terrified at first, but this should be much easier, and I think you'll like it. After we do the shop, we'll set up a couple more small design details, and then our WordPress website will be good to go. So before we do the shop, I have one more housekeeping issue. You didn't think we'd be done with that quite so easily, did you? And that is analytics. So I promised at the end we would leverage Google, but before we do so, we have to insert our analytics code so that Google knows we exist. And this takes a little time. It takes a little time for Google to recognize our code. So I want to do that now, and then we'll be ready at the end to rank in Google. So we can click Access Google Analytics, and then we get my entire account. Alright, once again, the Big Daddy account. And I made us an account here along with some code, so we don't have to code it ourselves. We can click Admin, Tracking Info, and Tracking Code. And once we click that, we can just click anywhere in this white area, and it will highlight, and then we can copy. Alright, so a big area people get confused is they don't know where to put that code, but thankfully I do. I've been tracking websites for about 4 years now, and doing pretty well with it. So here's where we put the code. Go to Appearance Editor. Alright. And these are the files of your theme. This is kind of the backstage, behind the scenes. So these are the files that actually compose everything we see on the front end. And in general, you don't want to make big edits here unless you really know what you're doing. But in this case, we do. If we post in our head file, just head.php. So click there. And then you want to find the code that looks like this one and just create a little bit of room in there and then paste it. Alright, no need to really change much, just pasting it in. And then we can update file. Alright, so I'm just going to update file. Cool. Alright, now we'll take care of that Google, the last step of the Google Analytics later. But it's time to get our shop up and working. Alright, I'm just going to delete cache one more time to clear all the gunk that might be in the pipeline of the web regarding our website. And now let's install our first plugin. Okay, so we'll go to the back end and then plugins, add new. Once we're in here, we can search, but what we really want to do is search. Yep, we want to search. So thousands of free plugins available in WordPress. They can help you add social media buttons or make things faster or slower or more secure or make a forum. And really all I can say is have fun checking them out. For now, we're going to get one called WooCommerce. That's how you spell it, and then we'll click enter. And then we are going to get this first one with, I guess, what looks like in Antelope. Right? This is the one. It's by Woo Themes, and it's got 4.7 million downloads. So thank you, WooCommerce. All right, we're going to click install now, and then we're going to click OK. And then we have to click activate plugin. Okay, great. So I think right now we're going to check out the blog and see if that changed anything. And we can see that it gave us a cart on the upper left. And that's it so far. Alright. So I want to install WooCommerce pages. Alright. I want to click that purple button. And this is going to give us all sorts of awesome pages, which we can see. Don't really feel like reading all the credentials right now, although they are very necessary. And I'm just going to click pages. Alright? So within pages, we now have these new features: cart, checkout, my account, and shop. Alright? And to make it easier to navigate them, so we don't have to be back here, I'm going to actually put them in a menu. back to appearance menus if you remember that step. And then I'm just gonna throw in shop and my shop and cart. I'm just gonna add them in there. Alright, and then I'm gonna change the name of cart to basket so it has a winery theme. And I'm gonna save menu. Alright, good stuff. And then I'm actually gonna put a menu in the top bar. Alright, so then I'm gonna create a new menu called top bar and just create it. And this is gonna give our site kind of an e-commerce-y, a standard theme, maybe a look of something like Amazon that someone's seen before, so they're comfortable buying from our site, which we obviously want. And I'm gonna add my account by just clicking add to menu. And then I'm just gonna put it in the top bar by clicking top bar nav and save menu. And now let's look at our changes. Alright, so keep your focus on the menu and the menu, and we're going to refresh. And that's pretty cool. Alright, so we actually want one missing barrel over here. Alright, minor detail, but we'll go back to menu, and we're going to move our blog page tab. Okay. So we're going to move the blog page tab down here, and then we're just going to save. So now our menu is looking beautiful. That's really awesome. Alright, now what happens when we click over here? So what if we click on shop? Alright, no products were found because we haven't made any products yet. Alright, and what about basket? And not too much over there either. Alright, so we're going to make some products now. So to do that, it's a lot like making a new post, except for you just have more options. Alright, so I'm going to set up a new product here. Just going to go to new product. So this is a new option right here, as is coupon, which we'll make in a second. But I'm going to click new product, and then we can make some new products. Alright, so just like a blog post, I'm going to make the Sancerre wine. Alright, so it's the rosé, and right here we can put some description, so maybe about this product, that sort of thing. That's pretty cool. And I'm not going to fill in all the details now. I'm just going to fill in what we need to actually sell a product, because at the end of the day, selling to customers is important. So this is a simple product. It is not virtual or downloadable. It is a real bottle of wine in make-believe land. And the SKU is NA. Go ahead and read into that if you like. It's a stock keeping unit. And this bad boy costs $15.99. Alright, and it's not on sale. So I'm going to set the featured image just like a post. And you can see our first product is really coming to life. Okay. And then there's another description here, so I'm going to put another description here, so we know where this one goes, and so we know where this one goes. Alright, and then I'm just going to publish the product, but I'm going to put a category in first, which is going to be rosé. So let's publish. Now our shop has one new product, so that's pretty cool. Alright. It's not perfect yet. I actually want it in dollars, but we'll change that in a second. So I am going to add 3 more products right now, and then I'll catch you in 1 second. But why don't we add one more product together just so you're clear on how to do it. Alright, so our next product is going to be called How to Drink Wine. Okay. And this is a informational product. It is going to be a virtual product and a downloadable product. Alright, so if you wanted to upload an ebook and sell that ebook, you could just add it right here, click add file, and then you can just pop it in like you'd pop in any other media item. And our SKU is NA, and this ebook is a ebook series, so it's going for $39.99, but it's on sale for 20 bucks, half off. Alright, so we will set the featured image for the product, and then we're just gonna put another description. If I can type, probably should have learned how to type before this, and a new product category, which is wine tips. Okay, and then we're gonna publish. Alright, so that's cool. Alright, so that's pretty cool. Our shop is filling up. We have our second product and it's on sale. Alright. Still in euros, but this would be great for our European friends. And then I'm just going to add a couple more products, and then I'll see you in 1 second. Alright, beautiful. We have 4 products lined up for our awesome customers to choose from. If I add one to the cart, or add 2 to the cart, then they should show up in our basket. Alright, so there they are. Someone could add lots of them if they wanted, which is hopefully what's going to happen for you. And, alright, I'm going to show you a few other necessary items. So, the first one is how to change your currency. So that's in WooCommerce settings. And when you're there, you can just go ahead and set currency to really a lot of varieties. I'm always curious about what these currencies will buy, but we're going to go with dollars. That is so interesting. Could do the Egyptian pound. And that should do it for here, so we'll save changes. Oh yeah, our base location is actually United States, and we are in New York. Okay, cool. Save changes. And then I want to set up PayPal shipping, or PayPal checkout rather, because most things online are controlled by PayPal, and if they're not controlled by PayPal, they're controlled by Venmo, which is owned by PayPal. So, alright, I'm going to click on the PayPal button, and then if you want to use PayPal, you have to put in a good PayPal email right here. I think that's my PayPal email. I'll put that in. Alright, and these are some other professional features you could use. Don't really need to accept payment, but depending on if you're building this website for a company or just for yourself or for maybe a client, then you're going to need to look into other options like shipping, and you're probably going to want more checkout options than just PayPal. So you have them and you should be good to go. And I'm going to save changes. Alright, great. So now if we look at our site, we're going to have a shop right here, and it's going to have dollar signs, just like we want. Alright, so we are going to do a couple more things, and that would be complete our footer. So we're going to do that real quick. I'm just going to go back, because our nav bar seems to have become hidden. There it is. And I'm going to make our footer look really beautiful just by going to Appearance, Widgets. And then the WooCommerce plugin that we uploaded for free got us this couple more options right here. And I want the products. Alright, so I'm going to get products. I'm going to put it in the 4th column and add widgets. And then save. Alright, that should be good to go. And then I'm also going to put a menu in the footer by going to Menus and going to Menu, and then I'm going to put it in the footer also. So you can put the menu in multiple locations, It's a very customizable theme, and this will let our users find what we want them to find a lot more easily. I'm going to save menu, and then I'm just going to check out our new website. Alright, so we can see there are $35.99 worth of items in the cart, which is awesome. I hope someone buys that from your site and, makes you some good earnings for all the time you put in. And we have our footer looking complete with products and a new menu down here. If we click on this arrow, it will just bring us right to the top. Pretty cool. Alright guys and gals, unfortunately that does it for our beginner WordPress tutorial. I'm sad to leave, but before we go, I want to help you get Google Analytics completed so that people can find your WordPress website starting right now. Alright, so we're gonna do a Google search for Webmaster Tools. Okay? And remember, we put our analytics code in the head section of our appearance editor on the website already. So that's the first step that's necessary. There's a couple other ways to do it. I just like that one the most. And then we're going to go to Webmaster Tools. And then we can click Add a Site. Alright. And now we have to copy paste our URL. And then continue. And once we continue, you will see that the recommended method to verify ownership of this site is Google Analytics, which we already did a little while back. So assuming Google has picked up on that, I'm going to click verify, cross our fingers, and it says congratulations, you have successfully verified your ownership of your new WordPress website. In our case, it is the beginnerwordpresstutorial.com. Alright, so Google now knows about our website, which is really important for building traffic and building an audience quicker than another blog might, and also for things like advertising and earning an income. Alright, so we have one more step, and that's to submit a site to Google. So we just have to submit one more time, and it's good to remind Google because they obviously have millions of sites. And I have a link to do this on my blog because it's kind of hard to find. Alright, so to get that link to go and submit our new site to Google and start getting ranked, I'm just going to click right here, this little launchpad button. Just click that. And now we're going to add our URL, this one right here that I've already clicked in purple. Alright, so copy and paste, fill in the CAPTCHA, and submit request. Alright, and that's pretty much the best response that we're going to get. So it's a 3-step process to submit your site and start leveraging Google. You have to add the verification code to the head section of Appearance Editor, and then you have to go through the Webmaster Tools page, and then you have to go through this page. Alright? Alright folks, that does it for the beginner WordPress tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed building a WordPress website, and I hope it sets you up to become a really powerful influence in the growing WordPress community. It's really booming, and it's going to be really exciting to see how you do. So let me know. Make sure to check out more of my videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, and additionally, before I forget, if you are creating your WordPress website, or if you're just signing up for HostGator in general, make sure to use those coupons I mentioned. The first one was Chardonnay, one word, Chardonnay, which will get you hosting for 1 penny, or Take 30 off, which will get you 30% off your hosting. Those are the greatest discounts available, and I hope they help you save money so you can use them on anything else that you want on your blog or just in life. Alright guys, thanks again. Cheers to your new website.